Hey everyone, this is Jonathan, back with another video, and I'm excited to be able to talk to you guys about how to make a career change. I've been getting a lot of questions recently, just with everything in the pandemic. A lot of people are looking to maybe get out of careers that, can be affected by circumstances like this. And so I've been getting a lot of questions on, Jonathan, how can I make a career change? What do I gotta do? What are the steps? And so for this video, I'm excited to go over some tips that I have to make you successful in your career change. So the first thing that you wanna do when you're looking to make a career change is determine the path that you wanna take. Now, this can be tough because a lot of people know that in their current jobs, they don't like their jobs, but they don't know what they want to do next. So one way that you can get around this, or at least take an action step towards it, is writing down all the things that you'd like to do or components to your job that you like. So I know there are some people, that transition out of recruiting into being an engineer, and they really like problem-solving aspect of their job, but they may not necessarily like recruiting. And so if you were to write that down, and you like being technical, you like being up to date with code, and it just interests you, those are some things that you might be able to do, and kind of take the transition to the next step of becoming an engineer. And this can apply to all different facets and different industries and such. Now, the thing that I would say is that there are certain things where you may like, to do things. I like to play soccer. I like to play sports. However, I know I'm not going to be a professional athlete, and so I would recommend that if you're making a transition and it's something that you love to do, make sure that it's something where you can make a living consistently. I think that's, just that for me personally, I think that's a very important aspect. Look into industries that are growing. You don't want to necessarily make a transition to something that could potentially be, obsolete in the next couple years. So I would definitely recommend that. But, before I go to the next point, like I said before, write down the things that you like. Write down skills that you've acquired that you like to use, and then start doing your research on the types of industries and jobs that can align to what you're looking for. So the second thing to do if you're looking to make a career transition is to determine what you need to be qualified. Now, this is very important because if you're not able to do this, then you're not going to be able to take the action steps to move forward in your desired career. So it kind of varies based on the type of transition that you're trying to make. If you're trying to make a transition from two polar opposite industries, you're most likely going to need some sort of education. However, if you're trying to make a transition from maybe industries where skill sets are parallel, you may not necessarily need to go that far. However, that might be something that I would recommend, as you're going to be competing for roles with people that have education and experience aligned to that specific industry. So certifications and online courses can be great ways to, one, help educate you, and two, build a little more credibility. So these are things that I would recommend. Make sure that you determine what you need to make that transition. Do your research, potentially ask different people who have done it before, and then take those routes, because then if you're able to do that, you build your credibility and are able to take the next step to be successful. So the third thing to do when you're looking to make a career transition is to leverage and use the network of the right people. Now, this is so important because if you don't network with the right people, then you're not going to be able to get in front of the hiring managers that will take a chance on you. Now, you have to understand where you are in the market, you are behind. Naturally, with people that have experience and have been doing this longer than you, companies are more likely than not going to take a chance on them. So you have to go and use your network, determine and find people who are experts that can help advocate for you and being able to refer you and put you in front of people who make decisions. So this is super important. And some practical ways of how you can do that is going on LinkedIn, joining some sort of group that is specific to your industry, and then once you get accepted, going through its members and connecting. And then once you've connected, determine the right people that maybe are close to you, or that really are have interesting profiles, and then reach out to them and try to network and get a phone call with them. In addition to that, I would also recommend, if you use boot camps or like certification courses, or you got a new degree, use the alumni networks and leverage those, or use the alumni network of your previous degree and try to make that transition and use the network of maybe the engineering school or the management or business management school. Anything along those lines, just to be able to get you in front of the right people. This is super important and something that I think gets missed, and people don't necessarily use. So make sure that you leverage and network with the right people when you're trying to make this career transition. So the last thing to do when you're looking to make a career transition is to continue to improve your skills. Now, you may have gotten the qualifications that you've needed, determined what you want to do, and got in front of the right people. But there may be a gap in between when you've actually done all those things and actually getting a job. So you have to be able to make sure that you're refining your skill set consistently. One of the ways that I recommend to do this is maybe build out a month or like a 3-month type of plan on how you're going to do that. So maybe month 1, you're going to continue to read 3 or 4 books on the specific industry. And then month 2, you're going to build personal projects. And then month 3, you're going to practice presenting them. Anything along those lines that can help you continue to improve your skill set will allow you to be ready when you're looking to make that transition. I can't emphasize enough that continuous learners are the people that are the most successful. So make sure that you're consistently learning. Just because you've made it or you've finally, gotten a big part of the journey, make sure that you don't give up and make sure that you consistently touch on your skills and build yourself accordingly. Well, if you made it this far, I want to thank you for taking the time to go through this whole video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and please like, as this helps the YouTube algorithm, which will then show this in front of more people. If you have any questions or you're interested in learning more about how to make this career transition and you're trying to get some one-on-one coaching, feel free to reach out to me directly. I'll have a link to my direct email below, as well as a link to my website. Thanks. Have a great rest of the day.